Hello, my name is Gia Kirk, and this is the Reclaiming Suffering Lamp. Here's a quick glance of what we'll go over. The project's inspiration was to explore consumer behavior and prolonging a product's life cycle through suffering-centered design framework. In other words, we'll display human experience such as suffering in the products to influence how consumers behave. I've previously once worked with the photon particle microcontroller. This project further introduced me to new technologies in order to build the lamp. The cross-style technologies are the one I experimented and explored but did not implement in the final prototype. Each step of the process shown here, however, these were done concurrently. How the lamp works is that there is an input that goes and sends data to the photon board. The input, when the user touches the touch sensor, the flower light turns on while the flower petals start to wilt or move downward as if it's dying. The first part of this is to build the mechanism. Thanks to my friend, we made a few small-scale prototypes that replicate the blooming mechanism. I acquired a new skill in order to build the lamp, which was soldering. So soldering with very small scale and thin wires was a difficult task, which is why I upscaled the lamp more significantly. Making the flower petal was a chance for material explorations between the copper and the fabric in order to highlight the aestheticness of the lamp. Furthermore is to convey and capture these emotions of suffering and organic look of the flower. In the second part of this project, which involves experimenting with the hardware and software, I began testing the servo motor, which is what animates this blooming effect and powers the push rod mechanism. I soon realized the limitation that the servo motor has on the project. First of all, the size of the motor is too small to support my lamp scale. Secondly, I have a continuous servo motor, which didn't allow the motor to stop at a precise positions. I tested out both the servo motor and the stepper motor anyway with some codes. Looking at the codes, I observed that I was able to precisely control the speed and stop position of the stepper motor more effectively than on the servo motor. The NeoPixel lights was rather a lost cause. I ran into some hardware issues even though the wiring were simple enough. After doing some research on what went wrong, and based on what I read, I think that the NeoPixel failed to light up because I was missing the input wire and the output wire, so no data was sent for the light to light up. I think the most successful thing of the prototype is the movement, that it went very organic, even though it was missing the NeoPixel light and other components. Regarding of speculations, I reflected on some of the feedback that I received regarding the lamp, and which was, instead of expressing suffering, what if the lamp expresses joy or something more positive instead whenever the user is conscious of their energy consumption? And another person says that the lamp is a very aesthetic piece to have around the house, but the concept of anthropomorphized suffering in the product needs some refinements, which I found these suggestions useful. With these reflections, feedback, and the technologies I explore, I speculate a need for the adoptions of suffering-centered design framework combined with anthropomorphizing products. Consumer behavior will continue to be largely influenced by emotional marketing and branding strategies, but what if there's a possibility to prolong a product's life cycle if we can feel and empathize with the suffering around us more? Thank you so much for listening.